Alrighty, here we go. NFL tweets out the who has the toughest schedule going into 2021. So let's let this play. Let's see who's going to have the easiest schedule. Let's see who's going to have the hardest schedule, and let's talk about it. So here we go. The first one up, the Steelers have the hardest strength of schedule. Ooh boy, going into 2021. So that's not really great. We just kind of saw the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger flounder at the back half of the season. Big Ben's arm kind of giving out a little bit on kind of the velocity and the accuracy and the deep ball ability a little bit late in the season. So now he's going to go through all that again because he's still aging. Aging does not stop here. So he's still aging. The arm's going to get weaker and weaker and weaker. I mean, that's just natural. I mean, now Tom Brady doesn't apply to that rule, but still everybody else does. So that's not going to be great for Big Ben. He's got even a harder schedule now. So let's see if they can make it work. They definitely got to get a run game if they want to kind of tackle the hardest schedule here in the NFL. All right, the second hardest schedule goes to the Ravens, and kind of, tough here as well. I mean, they haven't really been able to kind of make a deep playoff push with Lamar Jackson. Now the schedule's getting hard. They still don't really have that deep ball game in action. So if they want to kind of tackle this, like the Steelers to tackle their hardest season, they need to get a running back. And for the Ravens to tackle this second hardest schedule of 2021, they're going to have to go and get a nice kind of deep ball, deep threat wide receiver. So tough for them. And I think, did they just get rid of their offensive coordinator? Can't remember 100% on that. Oh boy, and here we go. Number 3 here of the hardest schedules of 2021, the Chicago Bears. Not good. Andy Dalton against the third hardest schedule. Good luck. I think we can all say goodbye to Matt Nagy. That man will be fired next season. All right, fourth hardest schedule goes to the Green Bay Packers. Not good. Well, I mean, it's not going to matter. Aaron Rodgers is always good in the regular season, but he can't close it out in the playoffs. So, all right, Green Bay having the fourth hardest schedule, that means nothing. They'll still get into the playoffs, still probably win the division, but then it's going to come to the NFC Championship game. How hard is that going to get for, they couldn't have made it any easier for Aaron Rodgers this season. 3 straight interceptions by Tom Brady. Only 3 points cashed out. That's the loss right there, folks. So, the strength of schedule for Green Bay is not going to make a difference here. All right, the fifth hardest schedule goes to Minnesota. They are bringing back Kirk Cousins. We just saw Mike Zimmer at the end of this season say, hey, this was the worst defense I have ever seen, ever been a part of. So they're definitely going to have to get their defensive right for the fifth hardest schedule of the season. Let's see if Kirk Cousins and Dalvin Cook can get it done, and Justin Jefferson. All right, tied for the sixth hardest here is the Bengals. Not good with Joe Burrow coming off that injury. So, I mean, definitely not making it for the rookie here, having to overcome the injury year 1, having to overcome the sixth hardest schedule in year 2. And then, the tied for the sixth is the Lions. New head coach, Jared Goff, wanting to kind of prove himself here this season to kind of say, hey, Rams, you made a mistake by getting rid of me. So if Jared Goff has some success this year with a rookie head coach for the Lions who's not going to work out, Dan Campbell, what is that? And Dan Campbell's going to have a very, very tough time here. They're not making it easy for him year 1. Definitely not making it easy for Jared Goff to kind of get revenge for the Rams at the sixth hardest schedule. Alrighty, let's see who's up at number 7 here. Alrighty, the 8th hardest schedule, because those two teams are tied for the 6th. The 8th hardest schedule is the Raiders. And once again, not very good for John Gruden here. These coaches, yikes. John Gruden, great in the first half of the season these last 2 years, then flounder off hard in the back end and missing the playoffs because of that. So 8th hardest schedule here. The Raiders, John Gruden, something's got to give. You've got some nice speedy pieces around you. Derek Carr, I think, can play. I've got no problem with him being the starter. You got Darren Waller, who's, I would say probably the most lethal, the highest lethal ceiling of a tight end in Darren Waller. So, I mean, it's sink or swim. I mean, they paid the man $100 million to be a coach, and he hasn't really shown us anything that great. And we haven't really seen, besides that Super Bowl win that, everybody says, he didn't create that team. It's not a great overall picture of what John Gruden can do as a coach. So, not getting any easier here in 2021. All right, ninth hardest schedule belongs to the Cleveland Browns, and I don't think they'll have any problem with that. I'm actually excited to watch the Browns this season. They took a huge step last season. The head coach got it right. Kevin Stefanski is great with Baker Mayfield. They know how to call plays. They know how to be great with their pieces that they have. So, yeah, bring it on. Bring it on. The ninth hardest schedule for the Browns. They'll be fine. Alrighty, 10th hardest schedule here for the Rams, and I think that's good. I mean, we all know their division is stacked. That's probably, where the strength of that schedule comes from. But, Sean McVay bringing in Matt Stafford should have no problem with this, the 10th hardest schedule. So, Sean McVay, sink or swim as well. You got rid of Jared Goff, so now you should be Super Bowl participants and actually winning it this time. So, all right, the Chiefs tied for the 11th hardest schedule. I mean, it doesn't matter who they face, folks. They're the best team. They lost only one game last season, two technically because they rested everybody in the last week. But I mean, they only lost 2 games all season, folks. It doesn't matter who they face. They're fine. They got talent. They got Tyreek Hill. You got Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and the head coach Andy Reid. I mean, it doesn't matter who everybody else is on your team. They'll be fine. Alrighty, Seahawks, yikes here. Also tied for the 11th hardest schedule here now. I mean, Russell Wilson making all this noise. Pete Carroll kind of saying, hey, I mean, yeah, Russell Wilson, you're good, but hey, don't think you're, untradeable or kind of irreplaceable here. We'll listen to some of these calls here of trading you out. So we'll see how Russell Wilson's able to kind of bring this team back. They just got rid of their offensive coordinator. They kind of floundered in the back half of the season. So not making it easy on Russell Wilson after this kind of huge statement offseason made by everybody involved in the Seahawks organization. Alrighty, tied for 13 here is the Titans. I mean, that's pretty solid for them. That's that's kind of mid. Now we're starting to get kind of towards the middle of kind of the average type of schedule. We just saw kind of the hardest schedules. Probably 1 through 7 is that's truly hard. Everything else is just kind of even, just kind of off by 1 or 2 games. But tied for 13, Titans, and they've got great running games. It's just Ryan Tannehill has kind of a little bit of a lower ceiling. We know what this man can do. But we saw him when he has to depend on him just alone winning the game by his pure arm talent alone. That's where we still see things kind of get a little out of control there for the Titans. So they should have decent success here. Derrick Henry can do the bulk of the work here. We see him working out in the offseason, getting bigger than he already is, getting more dangerous than he already is. So we'll see. I mean, really, this team will go as far as Ryan Tannehill takes them. Honestly, they've got pieces everywhere. They did get a little less kind of deep at the wide receiver position, losing Corey Davis, I believe. But we'll see what they can do in the draft. Maybe kind of get another deep threat wide receiver. But it's Ryan Tannehill. He's the one that's holding this team back. So we'll see what he can do next season. Alrighty, let's see who they're tied with here. Oh, the Cardinals. I mean, they just got everybody. They just signed J.J. Watt. The receiving core is absolutely magnificent. So Kyler Murray here, Cliff Kingsbury, they've been getting it done. The defense was actually kind of getting a little bit better towards the end of the season. So this Cardinals team is primed and ready to make a deep run, and they got the 13th hardest schedule. That's kind of right in the middle, folks. There's 32 NFL teams, so tied for 13. That's basically, just kind of average strength of schedule. So, and once again, just kind of their own division is kind of weighing this kind of hardest schedule a little bit more harder than what it actually is. So Cardinals should have no problem here. They've got all the pieces for it, so they should be able to tackle this schedule not too bad out here. Alrighty, tied for 15th now is the Washington football team. And hey, Ron Rivera made it work last season with a little bit of a harder schedule. I think they ended up having a pretty tough schedule. But either way, tied for 15th here, right in the middle of the road here. And for, Tyler Heineke, the quarterback battle, let's see if he can kind of win it over Ryan Fitzpatrick. But I'm definitely excited to see what Washington can do here. And I think, a decent, favorable schedule for them. Look out for them to kind of repeat as division champions. All right, tied for 15th with Washington is the Houston Texans. So we'll see what they can do. We still don't even know if Deshaun Watson's playing. We don't even know if that man's going to get arrested. We don't even know if this man's going to be in the league anymore. So big old question marks here for Houston. Their head coach is going to have to get it done as well. New head coach, because they fired their head coach during the season last season. But not very good here. They would have probably fared a little bit better if they had the easiest schedule because of all their question marks going on. All right, let's keep it up here. Chargers, the 17th hardest schedule. Justin Herbert played absolutely magnificent last season. Now a little bit of an easier schedule here this season. Let's see this man work, and I'm definitely excited to see what this Chargers team can do. Now they do have a new head coach. They got rid of Anthony Lynn, so we'll see if Anthony Lynn was kind of the reason why they were losing all those close games, or if it's just kind of something else that's going on with the Chargers. So let's see how they handle this kind of a little bit of an easier schedule. Alrighty, Jaguars have the 18th hardest schedule, and that's great for them, having a new rookie quarterback going in. A little bit of a lighter schedule for him to kind of get acclimated to the league. Watch out for the Jags to take advantage of some of these easier games, possibly put them in a playoff position, depending on how Trevor Lawrence is playing. Already tied for the 19th hardest is the 49ers. We don't know what they're doing with Jimmy G yet. We know they've got, decent defense. We know they are losing Robert Saleh, so we'll see if that defense can still be as good as it has been. But a little bit of an easier season, potentially with the rookie quarterback under Kyle Shanahan. He could make it work. And then also tied 19th with the 49ers is the Jets. All right, so a new head coach here, Robert Saleh. Alrighty, so Robert Saleh, he obviously didn't change teams because he got an easier schedule with the Jets. They had the same kind of hardest schedule here. So, this is going to be interesting to see how the 49ers handle their schedule compared to the Jets now that Robert Saleh was with the 49ers, now with the Jets head coach. Tied 19th hardest schedule, I think that gives a little bit more credence of what we just saw of the Jets keeping Sam Darnold. Hey, we have a little bit of a favorable schedule here. Let's try to take advantage of that, get a nice kind of building blocks under us for this first season. And then, we'll make the decision whether we keep Sam Darnold or, maybe kind of work on this rookie quarterback that we just drafted this year. So, yeah, keep Sammy D there as the starting quarterback in 2020. I think that's fantastic. 2021. Alrighty, let's see who's at number 20 here, or 21. Let's see. Three-way tie for the 19th hardest schedule, and also tied with them is the Patriots. Okay, so they're definitely going to need that. We saw how very lackluster their offense was last season. I mean, they couldn't do anything. Cam Newton had like 6 passing touchdowns. Who else had like 6 passing touchdowns? Alex Smith. So not very good out there, and he didn't even play every single game like Cam Newton did. We'll see kind of how this new look offense, we just saw them spend a ton of money in free agency, getting kind of tier 2 wide receivers and kind of tier 2 tight ends. So we'll kind of see how Cam Newton does with all them. We'll see what they bring in the draft, but a little bit of an easier schedule, helping Bill Belichick out a little bit. Alrighty, now let's see who's at 22 now, or if there's another 19th hardest schedule out here. Alrighty, 11th easiest schedule now is going to the Saints, and wow, I mean, they get rid of Drew Brees, and now they have an easy schedule to implement either Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill a little bit more. So watch out for the Saints, folks. They got an easy schedule with still kind of their rosters still pretty much intact. Obviously, losing Drew Brees is a big kind of leap down, but we'll see kind of how Sean Payton can kind of work these quarterbacks into what Drew Brees can do and what his production on the field is. So Saints getting kind of bailed out here with an easy schedule, losing Drew Brees year 1. Alrighty, who is up next? Tied for the 9th easiest schedule is the Buffalo Bills. I mean, do they even need it, folks? I mean, they just got to the AFC Championship game. Damn it. So now the Bills should have no problem getting into the playoffs, getting back to probably a high seed, potentially winning the division as well. And I'm sure the division kind of comes with this a little bit of the kind of the easiest schedule with the Patriots, very lackluster offensively, the Jets with the rookie head coach, and we won't even say the Dolphins because they're good out here. Let's stop the disrespect. So the Bills out here, let's see what Josh Allen can do. I mean, he made a great leap from year 2 to year 3. Now he's got an easy schedule out here. There's no reason for this man to flounder or even take a half a step back. So a lot of pressure on Josh Allen to take advantage of the easy schedule out here this season. Let's see who they're tied with at number 9 here. Still haven't seen the Dolphins, still haven't seen the Bucs, still haven't seen the Colts, and yes, Colts here tied at 9th easiest schedule. It's fantastic. We are looking for Carson Wentz to have a big old season, and he's got an easy kind of schedule to kind of get him acclimated into a new system, a new team, a team that actually wants them to be there, re-teaming up with Frank Reich. The running game is absolutely fantastic. They got great wide receivers. T.Y. Hilton's running it back for one more season. They got Pittman Jr. there as a great number 2, solid number 2, and like we said, they're deep as heck at the running back position. Nyheim Hines, Jonathan Taylor, and I'm missing one. I'm always forgetting that third running back, but they're deep, folks. So Carson Wentz getting an easy schedule out here. great team already around them. I'm telling this I'm gonna say it right now. This Colts team is going 17-0, folks. They're going 17-0. Easy schedule, great pieces everywhere on this field. They're ready to rock. Alrighty, 8th easiest schedule. Yes, sir, love it. It's the Giants. I want to see this team have so much success. I'm a big believer in Daniel Jones, and I'm kind of a believer in Jason Garrett. I mean, I saw what the Cowboys did the first season without him. Nothing truly impressive. And I mean, I everybody said that Mike McCarthy's so much of a better upgrade over Jason Garrett. And let's take a little bit of a step back here. Jason Garrett did great last season without a running back, just kind of letting Daniel Jones do it all. Didn't really kind of work like that, but now you get Saquon Barkley back. Jason Garrett has a full season under his belt with this team. Daniel Jones can only go up. I mean, I'm seeing this man get better every single season, so here we go. This is it. Do or die here this season for the Giants, and I'm all about it. 8th easiest schedule goes to the Giants. Alrighty, let's see who's up now. Still haven't seen the Bucs, and that's not good. That's not good. They just won the Super Bowl. Now they're about to have the easiest schedule here. So 7th easiest schedule goes to the Panthers. Love to see that as well. I want to see Teddy B get a little bit better. I mean, the Panthers season and the Giants season kind of went equally the same. Both lost their running backs for the entire season. Quarterbacks did very good jobs. Just not having a very good running game is just going to be predictable for the defense. They're only going to kind of play the passing a lot. So Teddy B got it done last season. I expect him to do it again here. Matt Rule, another full season under his belt, getting a little bit of an easier schedule here in 2021. Let's see what now this is do or die as well. Panthers do or die, Giants do or die. Let's see who has got an easier schedule here after the Panthers. What else do we got? What do we got here? All right, tied for the 5th easiest is the Broncos. All righty. Big question marks here whether they're keeping Drew Lock or not. So if this kind of Broncos team wants to go out and draft a quarterback, they got a pretty easy schedule to kind of help them get acclimated while playing if they don't stick with Drew Lock. So they've gotten some nice pieces all over the field. They still got Melvin Gordon as their running back, who kind of, still got it done this season, splitting carries with Phillip Lindsay. And they got Jerry Jeudy, great speedy wide receiver. So it's all going to depend on the quarterback whether they choose Drew Lock or not. But any quarterback that they stick out there should have decent success here the first season. Alrighty, then we get to the Dolphins. Yes, sir, tied for the 5th easiest schedule. Hopefully we can get a nice kind of deep threat wide receiver early in this draft, and then we can that's all we're missing. That's all Tua needs. So great for Tua here. He's got kind of a full, not a full season because he didn't play the entire season, but he's got a nice season under his belt. Now he's got a full off season to work with and an easy schedule to kind of help him get acclimated to the second year. And now you just add a nice weapon for this man. Watch out for the Dolphins to go deep, folks. We're gonna win it all this season. Here we go. We'll go 17-0 as well. All right, now we finally get to the Bucs. 4th easiest schedule, bringing basically every single person back. Unfair. They'll repeat as champions. There it is. We don't even need to watch this season. So they'll win it. All right. Ooh, Atlanta here. 3rd easiest schedule. Interesting. We just saw them kind of talk about kind of everything that's coming out of, Arthur Blank and kind of Falcons management is saying, hey, we're keeping everybody offensively. We're keeping both our wide receivers, Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones, and we're keeping Matt Ryan. So we'll see if they can get it done this season. The lack of success over these last couple seasons for the Falcons have not kind of looked very good for Julio Jones or Matt Ryan, but we'll see what they're able to do here at the 3rd easiest schedule. All right, 2nd easiest schedule goes to the Cowboys, and man, oh man, are they going to need it, because we just saw how they looked without Dak Prescott, and it was truly the most pathetic performance I've ever seen from coaching and players collectively without having a starting quarterback. They all just kind of mailed it in, phoned it in, and said, oh, our starting quarterback went down. All righty. I guess we don't do anything now. What do we do? So Cowboys definitely going to help out Dak Prescott to get kind of rehab from that injury, and we'll see what kind of Mike McCarthy can do with an easy schedule. Is he still going to be making excuses here? We'll see. And then the easiest schedule of 2020 goes to the Philadelphia Eagles. Alrighty, I'm kind of impressed with this. They get a new head coach. Doug Peterson's no longer there. R.I.P. Doug Peterson. Jalen Hurts, he's going to get his kind of first official full season under his belt here. So helping out Jalen Hurts a little bit here. I'm all for seeing how Jalen Hurts can kind of take this Eagles team and kind of be the new face of the franchise. Hopefully they treat him a lot better than they traded Carson Wentz, but a nice kind of jumpstart to this season for the Eagles, having a nice, easy schedule. Alrighty, folks, so there it is. That's 2021, folks. Who's going to come out on top? Those are the hardest and easy schedules here. Everybody having their own kind of adversity to overcome still, and let's see who's going to take advantage of those easy schedules and who's going to get eaten alive by the hard ones.